question. Are you strong enough? She doesn't know the answer yet. But they will tear it from her mouth.
Hello there, social media loving peeps. Welcome back to my channel. I'm at it again like a crazy person. I say this intro on my gaming channel a lot of the times, especially for mic checks. So I thought it would be funny to do that here. So I finished playing Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. And right after that, I started playing Senua Saga, which is a very different experience from the first game being a sequel. In a blog and video, I talked about the spectrum of female strength, especially in video games, and Senua is absolutely a strong female protagonist. That question came along because there's a discourse around there not being hardly any strong female protagonists in video games, and I had to correct that. Now, what we know from Senua, she suffers from both auditory and visual psychosis. You get to hear her inner voices as you play through the game, and literally it's more than one voice. Now, we all have inner voices, by the way, but we don't hear them literally, not like Senua. With us, it usually comes as streams of thoughts, multiple thoughts, even racing thoughts. All the insecurities and uncertainties speak loudly, and that alone is challenging to handle for a character like Senua because it's taxing to constantly hear things in real time as you try to live life. I feel bad for her because those are very annoying voices. But Senua's true strength is shown through how she overcomes her fears and the falsehoods her father instilled in her, the belief that she was cursed. In the first game, once I reached Hela, it was unique to see Senua get stabbed by her, which that's a spoiler, by the way. I should have just put a spoiler warning on here, but I am not going to do it because this is a different type of video. This is not a take. But as Senua bleeds out and dies on the floor, Hela transforms into Senua. What kind of ending is this? Oh my god. Wow, that's hella... Oof.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Senua. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day, a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea.
This game is pretty good. The mechanics are very similar to playing Souls. That scene has weight because it's a metaphor of becoming. Her old self, the traumas from her father, the fears she carried, dies right there. It's not a literal death. It's the death of old selves, old habits, old cycles, just like the nature's rhythm of life and death. It's transformation. Senua becomes Hela after old self dies. So, what does Hela symbolize? Well, she represents the duality of life and death. She is both. That's why in different media, she's depicted with one side that's beautiful, a beautiful woman, and the other side is decayed. Marvel's version isn't accurate at all, but the actress that captured her essence, now that's a force to be reckoned with. But Hela is not evil, not even close. If you need a visual, the best example to imagine is a female version of Two-Face from Batman. That's how she's usually depicted. In the game, though, her appearance is a mix of decay and withering like ash. What should represent beauty, the idea of life, is pale and covered in runic branding. I found that interesting because I once created a character like that, an ancient being with enchantments tattooed across her body to conceal her immense power. But the embodiment of Hela is really the acceptance of mortality. Toward the end of the game, Senua accepts death as a part of life. Empowering Hela's essence means accepting the balance of life and death, something none of us can control. Someone who accepts mortality and doesn't chase immortality understands that the pursuit of immortality is rooted in fear, primarily insecurities, fear of death, fear of nature's cycle. Accepting death helps you live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. It helps you not to take things for granted. Pursuing immortality doesn't do that. It rejects the laws of nature. Acceptance reframes how you see life. It changes how you pursue things. It even changes the value of everything. Now, here's a quick rundown of Norse mythology in terms of the 3 layers, okay? Asgard is the heavens, the realm of gods like Thor, Loki, and Odin. Midgard is Earth, the world of humans. And Helheim, ruled by Hela, is the underworld where most spirits go. Valhalla is only for warriors slain in battle who worship Odin. It's not for everyone. So hell doesn't mean the literal Christianity Catholic version of hell. Hela is hell, Helheim, the underworld, the setting of Senua's sacrifice. Now this ties into paganism. There is no rigid concept of good and evil because that requires a strict moral framework. And pagans don't operate under one god controlling everything. Paganism itself is rooted in animism, the foundation of most spiritual philosophies across the globe. The tribes were spread out in terms of the pagans of the north, by the way, the settings. Which is why I'm going to use Rome in that time of history as an example. Roman soldiers couldn't conquer them. Even during the time of the Crusades, they had a difficult time as well dealing with the pagans of the north. That's because there was no central place to destroy. And still to this day, paganistic practices are very much alive across the globe. Today, people are revisiting paganism, leaving mainstream religious practices behind because they want to create a solid connection again, whether it's with their background, culture, and ancestry, which naturally becomes a part of their spiritual practice. Mainstream religions have devoured cultures and histories. That's a fact. I can admit here that I'm coming from a more esoteric framework. Therefore, how I interpret the game is going to be from that perspective and knowledge. When the game uses the word darkness it's not talking about evil or anything malevolent. It's talking about the parts of ourselves we don't want to face, our traumas, fears, insecurities, even our biases. Carl Jung didn't invent the shadow self. Eastern philosophy, which is a well-known example, already spoke of yin and yang and that every human being carries both within them. However, we are taught the opposite here in the West. Jung just put an old concept into academic terms, coining the words anima and animus. However, anima means spirit, by the way. It's constantly used in video games, by the way. Animism is the oldest spiritual philosophy in human history. It's why I can understand the concept easily without knowing the details of it, because my background is rooted in esoteric practices or just non-mainstream religious practices. But the suppression is all the same. It's just that different words are being used to describe the same thing. Now, the darkness in Senua's story is her facing herself, confronting the hidden aspects causing her suffering. Buddhism, I know, right? Buddhism teaches that suffering begins in the mind. I'm not a Buddhist, by the way, but it's a good mainstream example for Senua's story and how she has to overcome her inner adversities. But honestly, a lot of suffering is what we do to each other. Mental healing is short-term when the real cause is environmental and systemic. The darkness in Senua's world is her overcoming the emotions that kept her from moving forward. By accepting Hela, accepting life and death, she transforms. In Senua's Saga, the sequel, there's a cavern scene where she must make a choice. Give up her sword, her only defense, because a voice calls out for help within a small opening. So she can't see who needs help. Or it's the option of not giving away her only means of defense. But despite her multiple inner voices warning her not to give her sword up, she gave it away anyway.
Is someone there?
Who are they?
Who's there?
What are they saying? Don't get too close. No. You can't. Those creatures are down here with you. They need help.
This is all I have.
Senua, you can't.
You can't do it.
She is thinking about it.
No, Senua. Protect us.
You need that sword. Senua, no.
You have to be able to fight. It's all you have.
She is ignoring us.
Senua, listen to us.
Senua, no.
We know what to do.
We are protecting you.
What are you going to do now?
Sacrifices must have meaning.
Later, she learns it was herself asking for help. That moment carries weight. Why? She chose compassion over fear. And it's not even just fear. She chose compassion over self-preservation. She chose to help someone else, even at the risk of her own life.
Help!
The creatures.
Help me!
All
They're
around.
coming everywhere.
You need to fight.
It's me.
It's you.
I need the sword. Please hurry.
Make her give you the sword.
I can't let them down.
You need that sword.
You are nothing without your sword.
They're coming.
What?
I need the sword.
She gave it to herself.
No time. I need the sword. Please. Hurry, take it.
She survived. Without her sword. And now she has it back. Invested with her sacrifice. All her blood that might have spilled. All the deaths she might have died. A new soul. A new self.
That's strength beyond measure. We have real people like that, by the way. It's called our first responders. Most of Senua's journey in Senua's saga is choosing to help others. She tries to save people rather than let them die. She's a skilled warrior, but she struggles more now because she's facing humans instead of supernatural beings in her head. We gotta fight. Get up! Why is it not doing it?
No time to feel pain, so I keep going. Let me rage. Underestimating.
Oh! Oh my God! Get up!
Enjoy this. Enjoy killing.
Come on! This had such delayed reactions! Come on! God damn! Come on! Get up!
You can do nothing.
Get up! Damn! Oh, that's intentional storytelling. Transformation requires integration. We are watching how she's able to be around people as a person who has undergone an inner transformation. And honestly, a person who accepts both life and death, who accepts their own mortality, is the most intimidating kind of strength. They move through life like a calm storm. They radiate confidence not rooted in ego. It's not about proving strength to them. It's about awareness of darkness and light within themselves. It's about accepting the finite and making the most of life with meaning and purpose. Purpose is more sustainable than fear. And a lot of people function on insecurity more than trying to achieve mental sovereignty through individuation. Another Carl Jung term, I'm sure you realized, but that is achieving mental sovereignty. Senua doesn't flaunt her skill. She uses it to help others. She does what she needs to be done, even with uncertainty ahead. To me, that is the embodiment of strength, the kind that reaches the level of a being like Hela.
What in the world?